So, as a therapist, one of the things I spend a lot of time talking about is anxiety and what anxiety means and how it is that we're going to deal with it in therapy. So, the first thing I suppose that's important to remember about anxiety is that it's not a direct fear. It's a fear of a fearful event. It's something that's not real yet, and may never be real. It's about the unknown. It's about an unknown quantity that we have to try and figure out what it is. And a lot of the problems that people actually have with anxiety actually stem from avoiding the anxiety or trying to avoid it. Because what actually happens is it actually multiplies. So you avoid the anxiety to avoid this feeling because you don't like it. But then that becomes a habit, and then you avoid that habit to avoid the anxiety provoked by the habit. So they kind of grow. So when we're actually dealing with anxiety in therapy, what we're actually doing is we're actually getting people to move towards the thing that actually makes them anxious. But just a little bit. Because you have to find out what it is. You have to actually examine the question around the anxiety to successfully resolve it. I like to think of it like if you were in the zoo and you're walking up to the tiger cage. Now, anxiety is what makes you check that the gate is shut. Fear is what happens when you look and you find out the gate's open. That's fear, because then there's an imperative that's real and you got to run away. And that's the thing about anxiety, is that it's about the unknown. It's about checking. So it's like an early warning system. So when we're dealing with anxiety in therapy, a lot of the time what we're doing is we're actually looking at other stresses that people have and trying to minimize other causes of stress so that the anxiety becomes tolerable enough that it can be examined in therapy, or even in daily life. So that's one of the big things that I deal with in therapy, is actually reducing all of the other sources of stress so that my clients can actually resolve their anxiety.